Well, this 2016 election is getting to be a real circus clown show, man. I swear to God, man, it's so much BS. Um, but I'm going to ask you to drive home another point on this deal because, you know, maybe the guy that they're choosing right now is Marco Rubio, and I'm just saying, oh, man, they got the goods on this guy, too. First off, Ted Cruz, I would vote for him more than anybody, but I also know he's attached with Goldman Sachs, and he pulled a shrewdy on his election. He probably cheated for like the Iowa primary, um, and you know, even though I think Trump's a ringer for the Clintons, maybe I'm wrong, but I think he is because he's changed his mind from, being a Democrat for 20 something years. Um, Trump was ahead of Cruz quite a bit. I'm like, how the hell did Cruz do this shit? Then Marco Rubio's coming up out of nowhere, right? And I'm thinking they want Marco Rubio, but they got the goods on him. I'm going to get onto this deal real soon. Now, I think Ted Cruz is like Ted Milhouse Cruz, like Richard Milhouse Nixon. I don't know, man. This guy reminds me of Nixon, man. I don't know why he reminds me of Nixon, but he'd be the least screwed up, I think, in my opinion. But whatever. Trump, he got upset on this thing. I'm not making fun of this guy. I think I would really love Trump if he was saying the same shit he was saying for the last 20 years as he was saying the last 2 years. I'd say, I know he goes overboard and says stuff, but he's not been consistent. So I'm like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. I don't know about any of them, to tell you the truth. They're all like freaking screwed up. But I know one that's really screwed up is Hillary Clinton. I'm not even going to mention her here because, they ought to just take her with a catapult and freaking sling her over the freaking shark infested waters and the hell with this shit. Then they can have a trial on her later. But, yeah, Trump, I think he got cheated in Iowa. Even though I'm not a fan of his, really, because, he's not been consistent over the last 25 years on most stuff. So I'm like, he's something fishy with this guy big time. That's how I'm reading him. Not that I'm saying it's definitely the way it is, but that's how I read it. Cruz, and he ain't perfect, but, what are you going to do, right? Now, this guy, Marco Rubio, I'm going to call him Marco Bubbles Rubio. There's this thing, I can't show it to you, man. I think it's Wayne Madison or something. He's an investigative reporter. He's got some stuff out there that this guy was a frequenter of gay places in Miami with the bubbles floating down from the ceiling. And there's something like he allegedly said he met his wife at a bubble party. And there ain't no such thing as like the bubble parties are gay stuff, right? It's not like, with women and guys. So, but the thing is, he's passing himself off as this Mr. Family, holy Christian, for all the freaking, he's passing himself off as something totally different than what he probably really is. And I'm thinking the elite got this guy in because they got the goods on him, and he's got a past that would be like unpopular with the middle class that's right now getting behind him with the evangelists Christians. Like Ted Cruz is playing this crap too. He gets behind the table with his family. Let's pray and say grace. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Cruz is playing that game too, right? Yeah. Not what is this? Marco Rubio is playing that same game too, right? Um, when I think about religion, it's just like, you know, religion's religion, and government don't have nothing to do with freaking religion. That's the way I look at it. So if you're a candidate for the presidency, I'd be saying, do what the hell you want, for crying out loud. I mean, this is not like the government's not supposed to endorse some religion, so whatever. That's how I look at it. But anyway, Cruz is in with the bubbles, and I don't know if these are bubbles or what the hell these things are. These are some kind of free picture of bubbles. I don't know what the hell this is, amoebas. But he's in with the bubbles, with the gays, like this stuff, right? And they got pictures of him, supposedly, way back when he's in there with the parties, the males. So he's doing his thing. But, he's passing himself off as something else. And I'm thinking, the elite got the goods on him, so they want him. What else is new, right? So, Bernie Sanders, um, he ain't even looking so bad to me right now. Even, I would like this guy if he wasn't such a communist socialist. Now, actually, I saw something. I'm going to put a link down into my comments in the bottom about Saturday Night Live. The guy that played Bernie Sanders on Saturday Night Live was funny as shit. I tell you what, I was laughing my ass off, man. It was hilarious. Except at the end, Bernie Sanders says, in a skit on Saturday Night Live that, he's going to be the VP and Hillary be the president. I was thinking, Bernie, you don't want to do that. You want to be the president, and you can let Hillary be the cleaning lady for that freaking White House, if she's not in prison yet. Anyway, so, but I actually kind of like Bernie in a lot of ways, but it's like, man, I wish he wasn't so damn socialistic, communistic, you know. I think the guy's all right on the inside for the most part, but, you know, I really, like I look at it like this. If they put up Marco Rubio versus Clinton and Trump runs on a third party, even though I think Trump is playing a game with the freaking independent crap to divide the vote, I'll probably vote for Trump anyway. It's like wishful thinking because I really don't think he's just Mr. Conservative guy like he's saying he is, but I don't know, I'd probably vote for him anyway. I'm going to vote. I would hope that Bernie gets on the ticket first, but I think the freaking Wall Street's freaking out about Bernie. Now, but I think if Bernie got on the ticket, I don't think you're going to see Trump run as an independent ever. I think if Hillary got on the ticket, or if Bloomberg jumps in there because Bernie upsets Hillary. See, Bernie already upset Hillary in Iowa, big time, man. Just by coming that close, he might have actually won. She probably cheated, And what happens in New Hampshire? I don't know. Maybe he might pull it out. He might pull it out of his ass, man. He's in that area. I don't think a lot of people. I think people in New Hampshire hate Hillary, so he might win. And if that happens, they might pull Bloomberg out. Now, my theory is that Trump will run independent if, like, Hillary or Bloomberg is on the number one on the ticket. But if it's Bernie versus Rubio, I can already tell you, man, they're not going to take Ted Cruz, man. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to. And when it's this close, when you got Ted Cruz, Trump, right now it is Ted Cruz, Trump, and Marco Rubio. I mean, Marco Rubio was right up behind freaking Trump. That was a scam, So it's Marco Bubbles Rubio. Bubbles, as in, I'll point to the link, man. You can just read whatever the hell this guy wrote about him, and I'm thinking, that's usually the deal, man. They got the goods on him way back when, so, and the guy ought to just say, it was a bubble gay guy or some shit, whatever, fine. You ought to just say it. You ought to just say it and say, screw it, instead of playing the games. Because, actually integrity is worth more than, probably what you are or something. Who the hell knows? Maybe that's really what counts. I mean, that's why I'm kind of like at odds with the real severe Christians because, I'm kind of with them, but then if they go too far, I'm like, come on, man, just lay off because, I know like the Hollywood's got an agenda that everybody's going to be, Caitlyn Jenner, bisexual, homosexual, lesbian. That's like the norm. And then, you got on the other side where, the severe Christians say, everybody 100% has got to be this way. And, that's just not how it is, I mean, shit, whatever. I can tell you most of the time when people are married, nobody freaking's monogamous anyway. So, it's all a freaking big front. I guess it's like you do it on the outside so it makes it look good or whatever. I don't know. But, I would tell you, I would really like Bernie if he wasn't such a communist socialist yo-yo. I mean, he's not so damn bad in his heart. But I can't vote for this guy. No way in hell. But I would hope, he beats Hillary soundly in New Hampshire. Because if that comes on, boy, is she going to have conniptions. I bet you the cracks are going to be coming down her. I can already tell you the fact that Bernie, and I think he actually won in Iowa, I think they're going nuts over there in the Hillary Clinton camp because of he got that damn close, which I think he actually won. Which makes me think they're going to even have to pull out Bloomberg, or they're going to have to make it like if he gets on the ticket, they're going to put Marco Bubbles Rubio and they'll push him ahead and they'll make him president because they got the goods on him. I mean, even though somebody would say he's a Latino, but It's not really why he's going to be that they might celebrate that, but it's they got the goods on him. They don't have nothing really on this Ted Cruz guy, except for like he's attached with Goldman Sachs. The elite aren't going to say, "Oh, Ted Cruz, you're no good because your wife works for Goldman Sachs." They're not going to say that. They're not. What are people going to do, right? They're going to criticize it because the guys that own him are going to be like criticizing him because he's got some ties to the guys that own him. That ain't going to happen. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Trump, man. I really do wish this guy was like, he was saying the same shit from like 1985 on. I think he'd be great, but he hasn't been. He's been saying the same. He's been consistent the last 2 or 3 years. So I don't know, but I'm showing a crazy picture with his hair like this because the way I look at it, he shouldn't have lost in Iowa, and even though I'm kind of scared of the prospect of him doing too good, and then he goes on an independent. He should not have lost in Iowa, but he might not lose in New Hampshire. I don't think he's going to lose in New Hampshire. I'm being objective here. I'm not being a Trump fan or something because I honestly, you heard me say this many times. I really don't trust all of what he's saying, even though he says it very sincere. I'm used to this kind of crap. It's just like Marco Bubbles Rubio telling the evangelistic Christians all this stuff about stuff they want to hear. He sounds sincere as all hell, don't he? Well, it's BS. They're all BS. I mean, when you know somebody like Hillary Clinton, you already know she's lying. But she used to say like she was against lesbian and gay marriages for like many years back when she was a senator. I'm not even gonna show her a picture because I'm like, she's that nasty thing, man. Get the hell out of here, man. So, I think, the people, it's like, who do you believe? I mean, if 99% of them are conning you, but, in a way, um, I really do like this. I really kind of like this Bernie guy, man. I sure as shit wish he wasn't a communist, freaking socialist. Socialist. Why are you a commie socialist? Damn it! I would have liked you. I mean, I'd still kind of like him, but I mean, he's not. Because actually, he's a guy that was coming out really strong against the IMF. That's why they're never going to make this guy president. I know that. Never. Never. But he might have a lot of power. He might get nominated. Maybe. But then I'm thinking if he gets too strong, they're going to pull Bloomberg out of the woodwork. That's why he's talking about running and shit. But if they pull Bloomberg out of the woodwork, it's going to be the Democratic Party is going to get slammed. Actually, I think actually Bernie's got a shot at it. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm not like I said. I mean, there's some things I like about him, some things I can't stand. But he's definitely better than Hillary, even if he's a commie socialist. But I think the guy right now really looks like I was talking about the other guy from Ohio. I forgot his damn name already because I was like, who the hell is this jerk? They endorsed him on the New York Times. I already forgot his name. I mean, he's nobody. I mean, he's like, where the hell does this jerk come from? They're probably picking this guy because he got right behind Trump. Now all the major media is saying, oh, Marco Bubbles. That's his name. You remember this, Marco Bubbles Rubio. you know why these this is what gets me about evangelistic Christians. They don't think that smart sometimes, man. I'm like, I'm really kind of on their side, but I'm like, I really am. But yeah, God, man, they get hoodwinked. So what the hell's the matter with them, man? I mean, that's what happens when you go too much one way. I mean, yeah, I guess it's right and wrong and shit, but I mean, who the hell is perfect anyway? For crying out loud. So I mean, the thing is, this guy, since he's got this past, they literally got him where they can make him do whatever they want him to do, and that's important to the elite. That's why they probably got this guy, Marco Bubbles Rubio. See, with Donald Trump, they can't do nothing with him. And I shouldn't be showing his hair like this, but I'm showing the hair because it was really an upset victory with that Cruz beating him in Iowa and Rubio coming so close. But then again, maybe he's not. Trump wasn't that strong in Iowa. I don't know. We'll find out because if Trump doesn't do good or he doesn't win in New Hampshire, Danny's in trouble. Then something's going on. But then again, it might be cheating. And, this is coming from a guy that suspects Trump, okay? This is not coming from a guy that's like saying, I love Trump and every guy want him to win. He's the only thing, he's going to make America great again. I'm not saying that. I'm not even coming that way. I'm just being fair about it. I don't understand. Something's freaking fishy here. And Ted Milhouse, Ted Milhouse Cruz, you know, he'd be my choice, although he's not perfect. He'd be my choice. Man, I could see right through his bullshit too. I mean, come on, man. I'm so sick of these guys. That's kind of why I kind of like Bernie in some ways, because I don't think he's snowing anybody. He's just a damn commie socialist. That's what's driving me nuts about the guy. But I don't think he's really snowing anybody so bad like the other guys are. You know. And you get mad at me for saying that, but I'm just saying I think the guy's a little more sincere, because it takes some balls to really criticize the shit out of Wall Street and stuff like that, and it takes some balls to really hammer the IMF. He does that a lot, Bernie. Man, I wish I could talk to him, dude. Man, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Because to be one time I would vote for Democrat if he wasn't a freaking commie socialist type, man. I would really vote for this guy if he wasn't that way. I kind of like him, man. I kind of like him. And anyway, I'll show you that link on Saturday Night Live. It was kind of funny. I mean, I was laughing my ass off. The guy that portrayed Bernie Sanders, I'd vote for him, the actor that was portraying Bernie Sanders on Saturday Night Live, over Bernie Sanders himself. The guy was that funny. And, it's like kind of crazy to say that. You're not supposed to vote for somebody that's just entertaining or whatever, but, in a lot of ways that's what happens. Actually, when they even went around in Iowa and they were asking people, they didn't even recognize the candidates. They would show a picture of Marco Rubio and they'd think it was Ted Cruz, and they'd show a picture of Ted Cruz, they'd think it was Marco Rubio. They didn't even know the guys' names. They didn't even know, anything about the people. And they're like, those are the voters. Those are the people that even bothered to vote. So you wonder why the hell we're in trouble? They don't even know they don't know shit about them. They don't know shit about the candidates. They see some shit on TV, it's like, hey, it's a commercial. That's why they put so much money out there on advertising, because it works. People just don't have the time to really examine the shit. They see some stuff, they like it. Oh, haha. Oh, he's fun, he's good, whatever, fine. And I don't know. All of them are screwed up, to tell you the truth. But the worst screwed up one is Hildebeest. No doubt about that, man. God. Anyway, why doesn't she buy a ranch in Oregon? I'll leave you with that thought. Why doesn't she not buy a ranch in Oregon and start, raising cows and shit, and and have fun over there with the feds or whatever, or the fake feds, the fake ones, Anyway, that's all I got to say about this shit, because I figured and you can take a look at this thing with Marco Bubbles Rubio with the link and stuff, and I'm figuring that's why they got this guy. They got the goods on him. That's why he's going to come out strong, because they know they own this guy. They got some shit on him in the past. It's kind of like the same thing with Obama, and all that kind of crap, What else is new, right? Bernie, I think you'd be great. I'm saying this again. I really damn wish you weren't a socialist and communist. I kind of like this guy in some ways. In some ways, I really do. It's a shame that he leans too much to the socialist communist way.